Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to the Recruits Training School in Eldoret, where today marks the first day of our live coverage for the reporting exercise for new recruits who have successfully gone through the Kenya Defence Forces recruitment process. From all corners of the country, these young men and women are arriving here, each with a story, a dream, and a shared commitment to serve this great nation. Over the next few days, they'll be undergoing verification and medical screening before officially beginning their military journey in terms of training. And I am joined by my colleague,
Koplo Jemiat.
Yes, Koplo Jemiat is going to take us through the verification process and all the procedures that have been happening since day one. Since today is the fourth day since they started reporting here, and they started reporting on Monday. Koplo Jemiat.
Indeed, it was on Monday, 10th of November 2025, is when we first received the first cohort of 2025 of 25 of the Recruits Training School here at Eldoret. And we are very glad because the turn-up was very good and we really enjoyed the company being here, whereby they were joined by, or they were accompanied by their guardians and their parents who came from all corners of this great country, Kenya. So from the word go, they were taken through the authentication and the verification of their certificates. After going through the security checks, that is when they were allowed in. After they were allowed in, they were given an open address from the chief of personnel, DHQ, Brigadier Alphonse Andar,
Yes,
who thereafter handed over to chief of
the chief recruiting officer.
Roger, chief
Yes.
recruiting officer, who also, after taking them through, he allowed now the verification to take on. Back to you.
Now, thank you. Today it was a calm and yet defining moment filled with anticipation and a lot of patriotism from the anticipations from the candidates who have been reporting here after the recruitment exercise has ended countrywide. They'll be reporting them at the recruitment centers. That is verification of documents, medical and physical tests. This is just to verify that the person who was recruited at the sub-county or the district level is the same person who's reporting at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School. Furthermore, they'll be given, they're going to be tested medically just to ensure that there's nothing that interfered with their medical as they were waiting to report here at the Defence Forces Training School. Earlier on today, we had an address by the chief recruiting officer and the chief personnel, that is Brigadier Alphonse Ndar, DHQ, and they made the welcome address for the recruits who are prospective recruits who are reporting at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School. So in a moment, we'll be playing back the welcoming address and updating you on how things will be. In the consecutive live streams that we'll be doing daily, we will be updating you on each process, giving you complete detail on what goes on as the recruits report at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School. Today we'll be focusing on document verification and authentication and giving you clear details on what happens during the verification of documents and what is expected of everyone. As it was advertised in the recruitment advertisements on the daily newspapers and social media handles, there is a basic requirement for everyone, both tradesmen and women and general duty recruits. There is a basic entry level that everybody is supposed to meet, one being the documentation. One, you need to be a Kenyan citizen, and what proves that you are a Kenyan citizen is your national identification card. And apart from that, we have the education documents, which include the original KCAC certificate and the grades that are supposed that you attained during the KCAC examination. There is a cutoff for general duty recruits, and there is also a different cutoff for tradesmen and women. Mark you, the tradesmen and women are artisans, certificate holders or diploma holders who are recruited to fill in the technical gaps in the Kenya Defence Forces. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the verification process is usually up to par. They check every bit of it, including your fingerprints, to verify that you are the correct person who was selected at the district. After that, it will be followed by confirmation that all the documents are original as stated in the advertisement. You've met all the basic requirements also stated in the advertisement. Now, and after that, you'll be ushered into the Defence Forces Recruits Training School, where we'll have the medical and physical tests that will be conducted to you. Today, as I've mentioned earlier, we'll be focusing on verification of documents. Then tomorrow, we'll be doing the physical and medical tests. We'll give you an in-depth of why the process is being repeated here, and why they are doing it at the district and also doing it at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School. As for now, I want to take you back to the welcoming address, which was done by the Chief of Personnel DHQ, that is the Defence Headquarters, Brigadier Alphonse Ndar, and the Chief Recruiting Officer, who is Brigadier Kimani.
Asante sana kwa maombi mrembo. Thank you very much. Kwa Chief Recruiting Officer, Commandant at DFRTS, Director CIS, CMO, CRO, officers, service members, wazazi na kurutu tarajiwa. Good morning. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. Now, kwa majina mimi naitwa Brigadier Ndar. Mimi ndio Chief of Personnel Defence Headquarters, na kama kawaida najua nyinyi wote mnatarajia kujua why you are here. That is why tuko na leadership ambayo tumetumwa from Defence Headquarters to come and tell you the reasons and the process why you are here. Wewe unajua kwa sababu gani kwa hapo? Unajua kwa nini kwa hapo? Sawa, kwanza ningependa kukaribisha wazazi na ninawashukuru sana kwa kutuletea hawa kurutu tarajia, and we are praying and hoping that the process will go on well. My work before you, because in the military we keep time, is just to explain to you what you expect. I know there's a lot of anticipation from the recruits that we anticipate to have by the end of the process. We are praying and hoping that everything shall go on well. Now, we'll start our process, that's why you are seated, through what we call verification. So when you leave here, your names will be called. Mutafanyia verification. After verification, we'll check your fingerprints so that we know that we have the right people. We don't want to have people that we do not intend or purpose to be with us here. After verification, you'll go through the medical process. That's why we have our Chief of Medical with us here, awaangalie, so that we know that we are taking people who are medically fit. Usually in the military, we want to employ you the way you are born, so that we start working well, and as we work to achieve the mission and vision of the Kenya Defence Forces. Another thing, we are hoping that you all know that kwa jeshi our processes are very clear. We do not entertain issues of what we call malpractices. And that is why mkichukuliwa kwa district pale, we went through everything to ensure that your documents are fine, you yourself as a person is healthy, and we don't anticipate kama kuna mtu amekuwa na malpractice, umedanganywa in one way or the other, na umepeana pesa, we do not entertain that. And we have the ways and means of finding out. So amongst us here, some of us could not be in uniform, and that is the purpose, because we want to have a free and fair exercise. So for the recruits, I want you to have your minds open, because after this, now you are going to join the KDF fraternity, and you're going to get to know our customs of discipline, integrity, and togetherness. So I want to wish you well. Once we are done with this, we let the parents leave so that they can continue with nation building, alafu mtuachie vijana so that we can make them soldiers. So without much ado, I want to invite the Chief Recruiting Officer so that he can say a few words. Then we start the process so that we ensure that we keep timings. So with those few remarks, nimewakaribisha sana kurudi tarajiwa, and we want to wish you well as we start the process from now henceforth. Asanteni sana. Let me invite the CRO to continue these remarks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief of Personnel, Senior Officers present, askari wote wale wako hapa, our parents and guardians, and our prospective recruits. Good morning. Good morning once again. My name is Brigadier Samuel Kimani. I'm the Chief Recruiting Officer, and today we are honored to receive you. We are the third cohort we are receiving today. And the purpose we have gathered here actually is to receive you and have you onboarded in the current recruitment process. As you very well know that we have been recruiting since, and the process has been ongoing across the country, all the way from north. The government of Kenya has a lot of money to go and look for those young men and women. Now, I want to address the three categories of people here. The first one are the parents and guardians. We want to appreciate you and thank you very much for bringing up these young women and escorting them. I know some of you might have slept around here in Soy or in Eldoret, just to see them through and make sure that they have arrived safely. We also want to thank you very much for bringing up these young women, instilling them with the necessary discipline and guidance and giving them confidence so that they have reached this far, and the KDF have identified them as suitable candidates who can be enlisted to join the KDF. And now to our prospective candidates, congratulations that you are being nominated and selected at the district level. And I'm hoping here that no one was forced to look for this job. And I want to ask, is there anyone who feels that he is not here? Is there anyone who feels that this is not his job, his or her job? Kuna mtu anasikia kwamba hataki kazi, ainue mkono juu. Tusianze kusumbuana mapema. Inua mkono, naona mmoja hapo. So we are all ready. Are we ready? Are we ready hapo nyuma? Very well. That's very good. That's the attitude we want. Now, moving forward from here, I know we did some verification at the sub-county level. We are going to do a little bit of verification again, just to ensure that the person we got at the district is a person who has come here. Unaweza kuwa labda recruit mtu mwingine lakini ukaenda ukapewa ID. So we want to verify that. We also want to verify the documents that you have, and also we want to verify the medical again, because KDF has its own standards of training and for the service. And our intention is not to chase anyone. I say the government of Kenya has spent a lot of money looking for you. All the way, some are from Kibish, northern Kenya. Others are all down at areas called Vanga. Others are coming from Mandera. Others are coming from Kisii. Others are coming from those areas of Malaba. Basically, the whole country is represented here. And that's called the face of Kenya. That the military have to have representation of the face of Kenya. Yes, my friend. Unataka kuondoka?
Gentlemen, to those joining us, that was the Brigadier Alphonse Ndar and Chief Recruiting Officer Brigadier Samuel Kimani. Right now, we are at the main reception area where each recruit usually to the documentation desk. Here are the identification cards and appointment letters, what we famously calling letters, are verified against the KDF official record, which were recorded at the recruitment centers at the districts and county level. Every step is carefully supervised by Kenya Defence Forces Office and accountability. It's a process that emphasizes transparency and fairness, which are key pillars of the Kenya Defence Forces recruitment exercise. As you can see, the officers are confirming personnel details before issuing registration slips. This ensures that all recruits enter the school have met the required standards set during recruitment. After registration, recruits proceed to verification stage. Here, their personal and academic documents undergo a thorough review to confirm authentication. This stage also ensures that all recruits meet the minimum educational requirements and that their details match officials' Kenya Defence Forces records. Play a critical role in maintaining the integrity of this process. One that ensures merit and fairness remains at the heart of recruitment. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya Defence Forces remains commitment to upholding transparency in every stage of enlistment, and that begins right here. Behind every face here is a story of determination, sacrifice, and patriotism. Some of these recruits have traveled long distance, leaving behind families, friends, and familiar routines, all in pursuit of a greater calling to serve the great country of Kenya. For many today is the realization of a long dream to wear the uniform and defend the sovereignty of our nation. As day one of our coverage, we continue to update you on the reception of recruits at the Defense Forces Recruits Training School. Earlier on, we had an interview with one of the parents who escorted the candidates here, and we want to play you. Let's listen in.
Kwa majina naitwa Steven Mwakai Mwakiti, nimetoka Kilifi County, eneo la Pwani, sehemu inaitwa Chonyi. Nimeleta kijana hapa kutoka sehemu ya Chonyi, na tunashukuru sana. Hii process ilikuwa fair kule na vijana walichukuliwa, ambao mmoja ni kijana ambaye nimemleta hapa ili aweze kujiunga na hichi kikosi cha kuweza kuhudumia nchi yetu. Tunashukuru sana kwa nafasi hii, especially sisi watu wa Chonyi kule kuweza kupewa nafasi. Kuna vijana kadhaa walipata nafasi na wako hapa, wamekuja kuendelea na mafunzo ili waweze kujiunga na kikosi. Na tunaombea Mungu waweze kupata mafunzo bora, na tunajua watapata ushindi wakati wa kimaliza mafunzo na waweze kuhudumia nchi yetu ya Kenya.
Ladies and gentlemen, those joining us right now, we are at the Defense Forces Recruits Training School, where we have the reception of the recruits who are about to be converted from civilians to soldiers, class 3. As part of the verification process, there is fingerprint verification, there is counter, there is academic certificate verification. And we are going to listen in and have a clear, in-depth information on how all this verification process works.
remember that this live stream is all about transparency of the Kenya Defence Forces system in terms of recruitment of these men who are aspiring to become the future soldiers or the future defenders of our nation. And as you know that it has been said that many a times that there are some issues of malpractice. But this live stream is to show our viewers that this thing is done in a transparent manner. Look at that tent there. You see them keying in their fingerprint so that the system confirms that this person was that who was picked during the recruitment that was done away from 13th to what date?
It was done from the 13th of October.
October, yes. To around 20 something by the end of November there, the end of October. So with these many transpirations have been seen, people have been told issues to do with malpractice, so they have to verify with the fingerprints that who gets in here is that person who was really selected. So if you get to that system, I think you saw what was happening. The person puts the thumb, then it calls out if that person was that person who was really selected. I think with this bit, it shows really how the system has been transformed so that we can do away with the malpractice that has been happening, maybe that is allegedly been happening. We say that it is allegedly because it is not confirmed that there has been. So for the KDF to confirm to the people that it's really not happening, so they've given them that system so that they confirm that this is not the case within the system. I think from today, now our viewers will have that clear picture of the transparency within the system.
Thank you very much. Yes, from today they are going to have a more clear picture of what transpires during the reception process, from verification of documents, fingerprint verification, academic document verification, to medical tests and physical tests. You know, the internet is flooded by misinformation about the reporting of recruits, and as part of our role today is to demystify or to disinformations that are there and give you a credible information on the reception process done at the Defence Forces Recruitment Training School. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the is free and fair. It is usually conducted countrywide, and currently at the moment the people who are at the district levels are reporting forces training school ahead of the day. They are reporting here for verification before the training commences. The reception began on Monday, today being the 4th day, but being our first day for the live coverage, and consecutively in our consecutive live coverage we'll be focusing on main events on the process of the reception. Tomorrow and the consecutive days we'll be informing you of the procedures and the process and the prospect recruits undergo before the training phase. Today was verification and the verification of documentation.
Maybe before you get to the proceeding activities,
yes,
for day 2, day 3 and day 4 and maybe the final day, you saw very well that there a portion that remained after the names had been read.
Yes.
So you saw that to see clearly what could be the problem. Then we found as their names were being read.
Yeah, they were not selected.
He took the initiative of taking their others who had been picked before. Then, because they were never selected at the district level, luck again after having been missed. But you said that this was now coming a bit late and they were given chance to try next time. So they have and try their luck next time. So this is a true reflection of bring out that clear picture of transparency of whatever is going on. You can proceed and give them day 2, day 3, and up to the final day.
Yes, thank you very much. On the medical procedure, the medical process that they go through at the Defence Forces as they are received. Mark you, this procedure is very important because the Defence Forces only recruits people who are medically and physically fit. So tomorrow we're going, or rather day 2 of the coverage, we are going to give you an in-depth coverage of the medical procedure and give you proper explanation, because we have some people who, how does height affect you being a soldier? How does having all the 32 teeth affect you being a soldier? How does your physique? And in-depth information about how the medical procedure is usually conducted and what the doctors are usually looking into. And ladies and gentlemen, as we cover social media platforms to keep so that you can be updated on the procedures and the receptions reporting of recruits at the Defence Forces Recruits Training School. I am Senior Private Jeff Mwangi, and it has been a pleasure hosting and informing you of our procedures today. Thank you.